Okay, Shabbat Shalom, man. Let's get this, man. How you
Shabbat
doing,
Shalom.
bro?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy
Hallelujah.
it's Shabbat. And how are you doing, Michael?
Man, I am blessed, bro. I am blessed, man. Um,
Busy.
just excited, you know what I mean? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
man, I got the wrong one. Sorry. I forgot which one I had on the thing. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to review this debate. I'm excited to get the truth out, really. So I can't wait to get into it, man. So I can't wait to get into it, man.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, if you're ready to go, man, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
absolutely. Let's get it.
Give all praise to the Most High, and hopefully, and let His word, reign, man. So
Yeah.
we're gonna come across a lot of conflicting viewpoints. You know what I mean? And we understand that there's a what do you call it? There's a learning curve. You know what I'm saying when it comes to reading the Bible, and you gotta take time and whatnot. And so coming across this idea of multiple wives was new for me.
Mm.
But I know it can be very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when people don't know what they're doing, or maybe people, they use it as a thing of liberty. Oh, I get more. You know what I'm saying? I get more. Attraction from women and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but this is just purely, strictly, just biblically sound. That's all we're doing here. I don't
Uh-huh.
have multiple wives. My brother here doesn't have multiple wives, right? So we are just want to go into the scriptures and just truly see if it's a sin or not. That's the thing. And I've been waiting for a lot of Christians to at least put their best foot forward in this, and I just don't see it. So I don't know if what you have to say about it, brother.
Well, yeah. I think when it comes to the issue of polygyny, it's one discussion out there that I would say is very simple. In my view, it's simple to understand, but because we have a lot of so-called denominations and sects, whatever you want to call them. I would call them cults or certain groups that have hold fast to certain beliefs that are more personal and man-made than anything. So that's why we have a lot of confusion out there. But I'm glad to go over this and react to this debate. I think it's going to help us to understand, not just because a lot of times we're asking ourselves, why is it that this person has a different perspective on something that should be so basic and easy
Yeah,
to understand? So
yeah,
at least so through this we can understand how different people from different well backgrounds
backgrounds.
are are looking at this in their perspectives. So, yeah.
Hallelujah. What did we? Okay, so I have here. So already opening times. I don't think we're gonna do opening times, right? I don't think I said. Remember what I said? No, it wasn't the opening times.
Mhm.
We were talking about the rebuttals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here are the timestamps for people. Here are the rebuttal timestamps, and we're gonna go to the cross examination. So these are the timestamps on the original video. I will link. I should have linked the video. I mean, you can just go search it up, but I will also link it in the description of this live as well. So, um, just so you can go back to the original video and watch it, and then here's the 30-minute dialogue at these timestamps, and so that's where we're going, right? So we're going to let's go to Captain Zark's first rebuttal. There we are. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
The
Oh,
Sermon on the Mount is the
Yeah,
longest
I can hear
continuous
the audio.
discourse attributed to Christ in the Gospels. And
all right.
the wedding party and then bring them to the bride. They're not all brides. That's absurd. That's not doesn't follow at all.
Let me just
So
get
as you
there.
can see, the Bible endorsed Bible more than a negative. You can
Okay.
see how it's used in Ezekiel, Exodus. It's just used to refer to one to another. And with that, I'll yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that opening. And this format will be a little bit different. So we have 5-minute rebuttals, and then we'll have cross exams. We're ready for you, Captain Tazaryach.
Give me 1 second. And okay, I'm ready now. In Leviticus, well, first of all, there's a word called rigmarole, which means a long, complicated, annoying procedure or set of confusion, meaningless talk. That's what I felt. I just went through listening to my friend IP speak, or my combatant rather, IP speak. In Leviticus 18:18, when it says, "Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex," that's in direct correlation to the vexation that took place between Jacob and Rachel and Leah. Even though Rachel and Leah had no problem sharing their man with other women, Rachel gave Bilhah, Leah gave Zilpah. So those women had no problem giving their man another woman, which is what the meaning of one flesh means. One flesh is not talking about what you have physically. It's always talking about what you have spiritually. He mentioned Matthew 19:19 when it says, "I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife except to be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery." That does not mean that if he keeps that current wife and gets another wife, that's adultery. That's him and whatever them commentators said, imparting what they want onto the text because they want to push that concept. And here's the crazy part. Christ is saying you can't put away your wife.
I do. So I've always kind of had that, like every time I had this kind of like opposition to people, to Christians, that's what I say is that, does that mean that, you know, when you divorce, right, and marry, right? So that's, I always make the distinction between this verse that if he keeps her and he just brings on another wife, he's not breaking the law, at least he's not breaking the instructions of what Jesus said there. So I've always had that stance. So it makes sense to me, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, of course, when it depends on where we're looking at it from. So if it's in the Old Testament, there was that justification, right, that Moses gave. You know, he would allow men to put away their wives and remarry, right?
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely, yeah, I agree with you.
Except for adultery. But the leading religion in divorce are Christians at 66%. And I guarantee most of it is not for adultery. So the very people that say you cannot divorce or say that they believe in Christ are divorcing at the highest rate. Whereas Israelites, we don't push divorce except it be for adultery. He referenced 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. In 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, when it says, "Let every man have their own every woman have their own husband." When you go to 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, you find out that the reason why Paul is writing that is because a son is sleeping with his father's wife, which begs the question: is that his father's? Is that his mother? It doesn't say it's his mother. So is it his father's second wife that he's sleeping with? We know that that's not far-fetched to believe because Reuben slept with his father's wife that was also not his mother. So you cannot say that the fornication in 1 Corinthians is talking about having more than one woman when the fornication is clearly this son sleeping with his father's wife. There is not going to be one verse in the Bible that he can find that outlaws monogamy. He said Leviticus 8.
And to that verse too, 1 Corinthians 7, if you read it in context more, I want to pull it up. I'm not trying to do too much of the sharing, you know what I'm saying? But what I'll do, I'm just going to read it from my like Blue Letter Bible. And so I'm going to 1 Corinthians 7. All right, just going to do a quick reading.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when it goes down, right, to like verse 4, it says the wife has not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband has not power over his own body, but the wife, right? Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. Sorry, I can't even pronounce that word. So, and then watch this, verse 6. But I speak this by permission
Mm-hmm.
and not of commandment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in context, it's not even talking about marriage. It's just talking about pretty much sex, like sexual, right? Like coming together as one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're just saying like don't don't defraud each other, right? Only see, once again, see the same word, except it be for what? Fasting and prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Fasting and prayer. And what is a fasting and prayer for? Intimacy with God. That's the whole point of the whole thing. So just to kind of add to more to what Captain Tazaryach is saying, right? So you know what I mean? Not to say like I'm not trying to be here to agree with him. That's not the point of all this. But just the context of the verse, I disagree with IP. So
yeah,
okay.
and I can just to add on to that, yeah. So I think he clarifies because IP is coming from the perspective that of where it says, you know, each man should have his own wife,
Yeah.
right? And that as in, is it from what my understanding, he is saying it's a singular, it's not wives, it's wife, right?
Yeah.
So and so Captain Tazara does clarify that later on. So yeah, I'll just go back to it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, and then I think this one, like, it's just like the way. So like, I guess the context of how they're reading it is just it's finicky. It's a little goofy. You know what I'm saying when it comes to the Christian theology. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll let them keep going.
18 and 18, excuse me, polygamy. He said Leviticus 18 and 18 outlaws it, but that's just not true, because when there's something that's unlawful, it just says it. And if the Bible regulates polygamy, then it's promoting it because of the responsibility that comes with it. In Ezekiel, the 25th chapter, Ezekiel had one wife, 24th chapter, I'm sorry. In Ezekiel 24th chapter, starting at verse 15, Ezekiel had the wife that was the desire of his eye, and the Lord unalived her because that was the desire of his eye. That's an example of Deuteronomy 17 and 17. And it says, Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke, yet neither shall thou mourn nor weep, neither shall tears run down. Forbear not to cry, nor mourning for the dead. Bind the tire upon thy head, put thy shoes upon thy feet and thy lips. Verse 18, so I spake to the people in the morning, and at even my wife died. He had one wife, but yet that was the desire of his eyes. That's what Deuteronomy 17 and 17 is talking about. When you get one wife, that's a multiplication, because now there's two. There's you and her, and you can't let that one wife do it. So my opponent has not read any single verse in the Bible, in the Old or New Testament, that's against polygamy at all. What he did was try to say you got to read this in the Hebrew. Matthew 19 said this is a.
And also too, just like just a thought. You know when it comes, you know in the New Testament when it says don't be unequally yoked. I mean that's like the it's like a general.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the reason why for not being unequally yoked? It's so they don't turn away from God.
Yeah, basically.
So that's not just a Deuteronomy 17:17 issue. That's not just a multiple wives issue. So I'm just saying, right? If we're being quite consistent with the whole text, right?
Yeah, it's not just a multiple wives issue. Yeah, correct. But I'm also trying to understand exactly what you mean. You're saying, do not be unequally yoked. But then, are you trying to say that it's implying? Of course, I mean that would be implying being unequally yoked is worshiping other gods and things of that nature, right?
What Solomon did.
Yeah.
That's what Solomon did.
Yep.
Multiple wives, turn his heart away, worship other gods.
But he had multiple wives too. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what being unequally yoked. Is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, that's what you're saying. They can turn your heart away. They can turn you from God, right? If you're with the wrong person, man or woman, they can both turn your desire away from the Most High.
Exactly. Because IP did mention that as well, in regards to the wives that I think he did imply that Solomon was in sin because he had multiple wives. Did he say that? I think.
I'm not too sure, but we're gonna come across. But I just don't. Because the thing is, though, I think one of the biggest things is that, oh, don't multiply because your heart's gonna get turned away. But again, when you read the whole scriptures, that there's so many things that can turn your heart away, and like money is one of them. And even in the same verse, money is one of those things that can turn your heart away.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. Having multiple wives, if they are, I mean, if you're yoked with the wrong wives, that's an issue. But if they are, serving the same purpose, I don't see how that, even if they're it's more than one, how that would be considered being unequally yoked.
Yeah, exactly. It's not unequally yoked.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Leah and Rachel were unequally yoked with Jacob. See? So
No,
there you go.
Adultery, so that means getting 2 wives is adultery. But you're not going to show me anywhere in the Bible getting 2 women is adultery. With that, I'll learn the rest of my time.
Thank you very much as well. We'll kick it over to Mike for his 5-minute rebuttal.
All right. Thank you, Cap. Appreciate that. So he says there's no place in the Bible that outlaws polygamy. It sounds like this is the first he's heard of this argument, which is unfortunate because scholars have been making this argument for decades now. Decades. If you just understand.
Decades they've been making this argument. So I never heard of this argument either. But this has been for decades. So okay, let's hear this decade-long argument, right?
Leviticus 18:18 in the Hebrew, it is outlawing polygamy. So he says, for example, if the Bible outlaws something, it would just say it. Yeah, Leviticus 18:18. Again, you just read it as literally as possible. It says, and a woman to her sister, not shall you take as a rival to uncover her nakedness beside her in her life. Again, look up the phrase.
So let's read this together here on the screen. So neither shall thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. This is the KJV, by the way. So we're both reading it. I mean, do you see what he said? I don't see what he's saying. How does this outlaw having a second wife? That doesn't make sense to me. And then he's going to make another point. So if you want to say something, go ahead. But I'm going to say my other point for later on.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at this text, I think it's very clear, especially the last part of it. Okay, to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her life. What this is talking about, in my understanding, is some of the perceptions of polygyny that come up. Like, Brother Brett mentioned that the first time that he heard about polygyny, initially as a believer, as he's still a believer, but as a Christian, more so in the Christian thinking, he used to think, oh, what are you like? Is it like a man sleeping with like four women, like he has 4 wives and he's sleeping with 4 women all at once? Is that what polygyny is? This is what he used to think. And this is what this scripture, in my understanding, is actually saying. You don't do that. You don't get your wives and put them in one bed. They gotta all have their separate, premises.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. This is my understanding when you actually read it carefully. That's what it's saying. But
you say when it says beside the other?
Yes, exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Interesting. I never saw it that way. I would think that's interesting. Okay, I mean, which we agree on. I agree with that. I just don't think that's what this verse is saying. But
yeah, that's
but
okay.
all I'm saying is that if you marry somebody, like for example, Jacob, the only reason why Jacob, at least from what it looks like, he got deceived into marrying Leah and Rachel. That's right. But it was not his choice. And if you have the choice to, if you have the power to choose, he should not marry. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't take Leah,
Okay.
right? If he got Rachel, he wouldn't take Leah. Like he hasn't. Like Leah's off limits. As soon as he took Rachel, that's how I'm looking at this verse. So you know what I'm saying? But either way, we're like, but we're not. But we're not disagreeing in terms of this outlawing, because we don't see this being an outlaw, or like you can't have no more wives. So that's pretty much. Yeah, go on.
I agree. I would lean more to the way you understand the scripture. I would lean more to that understanding, because initially that was how I understood the text as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that when this happened to Jacob, of course, just like you said, it wasn't intentionally done, right? But then it was just kind of like an indication that do not do it this deliberately, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm gonna go back a little bit here just to kind of because we need to dissect his one more, because clearly we disagree with IP. So
as a rival to uncover her nakedness beside her in her life. Again, look up the phrase "woman to her sister." Anytime that shows up in the Bible, it's about 10 times. It always just means another, not a literal sister. Therefore, the Bible is explicitly outlawing polygamy. Now he says, well, what about it regulating it? Okay, again, those verses are not explicitly allowing it. He brought up a verse in Deuteronomy. It just says, if a man has 2 wives. How does he know they're at the same time?
let me get that one now. I have it here. Here the boom. So let's read it together. If a man have 2 wives, right? One beloved. I have another verse here too. And another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers, that was hated. What does he say here? Let me see what he says here.
He brought up a verse in Deuteronomy. It just says, if a man has 2 wives. How does he know they're at the same time? It's just because the law is about how you care for offspring. And even
so I can prove that we can definitely, this can definitely be talking about them at the same time. I got to get another verse here quick, but I'll pull this up here first. You can, so check that out. All right. And so what does that say? Can you read it for me? Just quickly.
If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish?
Right. So I mean that so like what is that saying, right?
Yeah. It's giving conditions for a second wife.
Right. And also one that's still alive.
Yep.
Right? One that is still alive. I would think that. I think that's what. So when he says that, how do you know they're still alive? Well, we can at least say that the law talks about, a man having more than one wife, right? At the same time, this verse proves it. And so watch this, right? So I've done this a lot. This is one tactic you can use. I mean, it's not really a tactic; it's just the truth. What is it? So what? Exodus 20:14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. The next chapter. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next chapter. So these are back to back. They're back to back. So adultery. So this should give more context to the definition of adultery. Because why in the heck would God allow? Oops, sorry. God knows what adultery is. He's using Moses to write his law. Here he is, and he says in the next chapter, if you take another wife, that means taking another wife is not adultery. By context and definition, it's not.
It's not adultery. So IP's position was that the second wife is designed to be a wife taken after the first wife passes.
Yeah, like they're not alive at the same time. How do you know they're not alive at the same time? The thing is, though, we don't. But at the same time, how do you know they're not alive at the same time?
Yeah, it would say if a man has 2 wives or takes another wife, for the other scripture, takes another wife after his wife passes, So his wife dies, right? It would be more specific,
The specific, yeah,
right? But that's not
easily,
the case. Yeah.
easily be more specific, and also, let's be honest. So one thing that Captain Tazaryach said that was the case for Leviticus 18:18. Can that not situation be applied to this situation? Easily,
Easily.
right?
Yeah.
And if you think
Easily.
about it too with Abraham, because they did talk about Abraham, but if you think about it too, this is why Hagar had to be casted out. This is why she had to be a bondswoman. So they had to cast her out because you know why? Isaac was not going to get the inheritance because by technical inheritance laws, it would have belonged to. I'm sorry. Did I say Isaac? I'm sorry. It would have been to Ishmael, right? It would have belonged to
Yeah.
Ishmael. The thing is, it was not supposed to go to Ishmael. That's why he had to get kicked out.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So everything. This whole thing points to a man having two wives at the same time, or even if one of them passed, it doesn't matter. It would apply to both scenarios. So, but that's crazy to even. But like that's the rebuttal. Like I can't believe that's they stand on this, man. That I can't believe, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hard to believe.
Yeah, man. Anyways, okay, let's get back to it.
Time. It's just because the law is about how you care for offspring. And even if it is, it's just stating it as a fact. And I want to press him on that in the cross-examination because there's a lot more context about that we'll get to. So we brought up Rachel and Leah. Yeah, that was not good. In fact, if you actually read the story, it's very interesting. Jacob talks about his wives. And then when he wrestles with God, things change. After that, he only says Rachel is his wife. And if you go, for example, to go to Genesis 46, everyone. It only says Rachel is the wife, and it just says Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah are those who bore children to him. The narrator is saying that only Rachel's the wife because the path forward is monogamy. Okay, what happened to Jacob and what he engaged in was sinful and wrong. The patriarchs were not perfect. We're not supposed to look at them as our moral exemplars, that's for sure. He brought up Matthew 19, but again, what does it say? Okay, first of all, it goes back to the creation account. A man shall leave his father and mother, cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Then what does he say after that? If you divorce and marry another, it is adultery. Why? Put them together. You are one flesh. If marrying another is adultery, because you're one flesh, marrying another before divorce would also be adultery. This is pretty clear according to scholars. This is pretty clear according to church fathers. So he said we divorce at high rates. This is irrelevant to the debate. The debate is what the Bible is teaching, and the Bible clearly outlaws polygamy. It is not promoting it whatsoever, and he's not given really any verses that actually show it's promoting it. He brought up 1 Corinthians 7.
No, I mean, is it promoting it? No, I don't think. I don't know. Those are just bad choice words, man. And I don't like when people use those choice words. But it's not a sin. I think that's all we're saying.
I think there's a scripture that says just on this point where when David committed adultery and grabbed another man's wife, and God said, I'm just paraphrasing, he basically said, wouldn't I have given you more wives if only you had asked?
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah,
is that what it says?
We're gonna get there too.
Yeah, we can stick to this one for now. Yeah.
Said the context is 1 Corinthians 5. What? No. Okay. So it talks about the man who is sleeping with his father's wife. It never says that's his mother. The mother could have died and he just remarried. Women died often in the ancient world due to high rates in death from childbirth. So that was pretty common. It's probably what happened. And even if it was the case, this guy was polygamous, which is very unlikely because he acknowledged in ancient Roman Empire, there was no polygamy. That's the Romans didn't permit that. So
I think that's a good counter scripture, bro. That's a good counterpoint, right? I think that's a beautiful counterpoint because how would you have multiple wives if under Roman law they only allow one, right? With the marriage certificates and whatnot, right? And there's some groups out there that say that when Israel's in captivity, they don't have more than one wife. And so I mean, I never really checked behind that, but that's that point, man. Like I don't mind that point he brings up. So
yeah, that's a valid point somehow. somewhat.
So that's very, very unlikely according to the cultural context. But even if he's some rare exception, in no way is Paul endorsing that practice. In no way. What are you talking about? He's just saying this evil person is sleeping with his father's wife. That's bad. Get him out of the church. He's not saying, but that father's great who has 2 wives. That's absurd. That's not at all what it says. Talk about going to a vague passage. So yeah, nothing there. So yeah, there is nothing in the Bible which promotes or allows polygamy. It's sometimes at best it's tolerated because God is merciful to people like David or Abraham or Jacob, but it never allows it. It explicitly outlaws it in the Torah. This is what this is. If I'm wrong, it's very easy.
And by okay, he's gonna say sorry.
Explicitly outlaws it in the Torah. This is what this is. If I'm wrong, it's very easy. Show me one place the idiom "a woman to her sister" actually means a biological sister. If it did, it would use the Hebrew word for "and," a woman and her sister. Since it says a woman to her sister, we can see how that's used in Exodus and Ezekiel. It means an idiom meaning just another. I showed you the verses. It clearly just means another. It does not mean a biological sibling. Therefore, the verse is explicitly outlawing polygamy, saying you cannot marry a woman and another. Game over at that point. And if you just look at the context before and after, Davidson, Tasato show that even supports it further. If he wants to press me on that, I'm more than willing to go into it. But you can read more about that in the sources I mentioned. But I'll yield the rest of my time. Thanks.
So that says that's how he explained that. That's how it outlaws it, because wife to her sister doesn't mean biological sister. Show me where wife to her sister means. It doesn't say wife and her sister. I can't believe that, man. I can't believe that, and I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
I can't believe it. But anyways, I don't even need to. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because this is the one I want to respond to.
Yeah.
I don't think Captain Zara catches this one. And it doesn't even matter, right? Because you can, you could to me, nullify that point very easily. So here's Leviticus 18:18 on screen, right? Okay, you read it already. So watch this. I'm gonna go to another verse, right? Look at this. Look at this other verse right here, right? So let's read this one together. Right, verse 17. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. So now your idiom, that idiotic idiom is done now, right? It has to be done, right? Just by, and this is just by sheer, just attacking his point, right? I'm just attacking that point that he made. So what does this mean? This means biology, right?
Yeah.
So now the question is, if polygyny was not permitted, or let's just say if it was a sin, or let's just say whatever he's saying, right? There wouldn't be no need for this verse.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be no need for this verse. Like this, right? You wouldn't have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not needed. You don't have to say this at all. So, you know what I mean? And so neither shall thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. So again, that is definitely speaking about biology there in itself. I think the verse got cut off. Let me just go see the verse quickly. And you can add something in the meantime while I'm just checking that out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Just it's a very good point. All you have to do is just look at the verse before that to make everything make sense.
Oh, 17.
Yeah. It's very, very simple and very straightforward. And then usually, God speaks in a certain way. The scriptures speak a certain way. People talk a certain way. So it would say, if it was talking about, wives, you say, basically it would say 2 wives. You just make it the wording very simple. You wouldn't say a wife to her sister or something. Less something more complex in communication. Like there's a certain words that we use when we're trying to speak to convey a message. You don't use a language that's more complicated to understand to make a very simple point.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I mean, you're not gonna say sister. You're gonna say it in regards to a wife or one woman to another woman, right? Very simple. Or one wife
Exactly.
to another wife. Very simple. You're not gonna use the term sister in that situation. So,
Exactly. Exactly. And the translators and they know it's a different word, so they're gonna be honest with the text. And to finish off verse 17 here, and so it says, when it says, for they are her near kinswoman, it is wickedness. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? So biology. And then the next verse is the wife to her sister, which is referring to what? Biology. And so it can't, and so how that's crazy. And so you're not supposed to take this verse and use the other ones before it. Okay, I mean, all right. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. So this is why, and this is a decade-long argument. You went through decades to try to prove something. That is, I don't know.
try
Bro.
to prove that it was a translation error.
Yeah. And if this is a translation error, that means adultery might be a translation error. Like, it's just ridiculous, bro. You know what I mean? So what I say, when they say moving the goalposts, is like the seat of Moses. They always move the seat of Moses higher and higher, so that nobody reaches there. That's what a lot of these groups do, man. So yeah,
It's only pensmanship when you don't like the text,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
You made a mistake somewhere.
The penmanship of the scribes. That is hilarious, bro. Holy. Okay.
Thank you very much for that rebuttal.
What if I guaranteed you 1 million views or you didn't pay?
I will get that. Those rebuttals. Okay. 35.
So the next section will be cross-examinations. You'll each have 15 minutes to ask the other questions. For this, we want it to be just questions because you guys have dialogue after this.
Gotcha.
And for the person answering, we want it to be just answers instead of returning questions.
I'll do my best.
I'll do my best too. That's hard. I think we would agree to that. I go first, I'm assuming?
Yep, we're ready for you.
Okay. In 1 Corinthians 7, you said that it's not talking about 1 Corinthians 5, correct?
It doesn't seem to be the context, no.
So in 1 Corinthians 5, when it says, it is reported commonly among you that there is fornication among you, such fornication as is not such named among the Gentiles. We agree that Paul is addressing this city in Corinth about fornication.
Yeah, he's talking generally about a ton of fornication happening, which is wrong, yeah.
Actually, it says that one should have his father's wife. So I think it would be specific, correct?
What verse are you referring to?
1 Corinthians 5:1.
5:1. Oh, 5:1. I thought you were talking about 7 then. Okay, 5:1, yeah.
In 1 Corinthians 5:1, it says, it is reported commonly that there's fornication among you, such fornication that is not so much named among the Gentiles that one should have his father's wife. So it's specific about the fornication, correct?
It's specific about that case, yeah.
Thank you. Verse 2, and ye are puffed up and have not rather mourned that he have done this deed might be taken away from you. Is Paul saying that they are puffed up, meaning they're not doing anything about it? We would agree, right?
You're arrogant. Ought you not rather to mourn? Let him who has done this be removed from among you.
Right. So, and it goes further in verse 5. It says to deliver such a one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh. So in 1 Corinthians 7, now concerning the things thereof he wrote unto me, wouldn't that be about the son sleeping with his father's wife?
No, because if you read the full verse, it says, now concerning the matters about which you wrote, is it good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman? So this
the
is
question
specifically...
I asked you was, when it says concerning the things thereof which he wrote unto me, wouldn't that also be about what they wrote about that man sleeping with his father's wife?
It doesn't say that in the verse. It says they're asking specifically about the question, is it good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman? So they're asking about if you should abstain from sex entirely. And he's like, no, sexual temptation.
No, he didn't say abstain. He didn't say.
That's what it says.
When he says it is good for a man not to touch a woman, because these men are not touching their own women, they're touching other men's women specifically.
Where does it say that in 7?
In chapter 5, it tells you directly that their son is sleeping with his father's wife and they're glorying in it. That's why he's saying it is good for a man not to touch a woman.
Yeah, that's in verse 1. Now concern the things thereof, whereof you wrote unto me. it is good for a man not to touch a woman. So that's in verse 1, 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And so it's crazy, man. And then once you start to just really hone in on the scriptures, right? The things you wrote onto me, right? So this is not for Ephesus. This is not for Galatia. This is not for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it still is. Wait, see, and there's the thing. It's a learning. It's what you call a teachable moment for all the other churches, right? But the rebuke specifically is for that church, right? I guess rebuke or instruction. We'll say both. The instruction or rebuke is for that church, but the lesson is for the entire body.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
So,
as simple as that. So a lot of what IP is doing, a lot of it is what do you call it, a proof texting. You know, just
I don't know. I've never heard about that. What is that? Explain that to me.
Basically, from my understanding, it's taking just one specific verse, not really reading the precepts before it and after it, and just blowing that, making that, pushing your agenda or your thesis just from that one verse, and just you grab this one over here, grab this one over, and just put it together without reading the context in which they were written.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
in verse 2, when it says, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, does he not call the fornication in 1 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, what that son did with his father's wife?
He calls it fornication, yeah.
Thank you.
Right,
so that's the fornication that he's talking about. He's not talking about a man having more than one wife. On the subject of adultery, in Matthew's, you did Matthew's the 19th chapter. I think I did Matthew's I think I did Mark. In Matthew the 19th chapter, it says, I say, whosoever shall put away his wife except to be for fornication and marry another committeth adultery. Does it say anywhere in this text that if you marry another woman, you commit adultery?
Does it say Mark 10?
No, I went to the verse you used, Matthew 19.
Yeah.
I went to Matthew 19 and 9.
Matthew 19 and 9. Yeah. Okay.
It says, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife except to be fornication and marry another committeth adultery. Does it say if you get another woman, you commit adultery?
It literally says if you marry another, you commit adultery. Yeah.
If you put, it says, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be.
It literally says that, but no, literally there's something else you forgot that's literally there too. Sorry, I'm just sad.
Oh man, it's hard. Like it's hard to see this. Is oh man, I can see like the stress on IP's face is like, oh my god, like you brought that up. I didn't think you know, but yeah, it's like it's obvious, man. Like, are you reading the text or are you not reading the text?
Yeah.
You put, it says, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be fornication and marry another. That's the criteria. If you put away your wife and then marry another woman, you commit adultery. That's what it's saying, correct?
It says, yeah, if you put her away. Hold up, let me answer. Come on, calm down. Calm down. All right, I got this. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you put her away and you marry another, that's adultery because you're one flesh. Okay?
Wait.
It's Gordon Wenham says that means if you do it without divorcing, you're still violating the one flesh contract.
But it doesn't say if you keep that woman and marry another, you committed adultery. Where does it say that at?
It doesn't say that. It's
I know it don't say that.
And you're reading that into the text. It doesn't say
No, I'm not reading anything. You said that your scholars said when Christ made this statement, he's saying that. That's what you said.
That was funny. But he said you're reading that. I think IP said this. He's like you're reading that into the text. But then, what came to my mind is that it sounds like Christianity as a whole is reading, right? Like getting a second wife is adultery into the text. So that's what that sounds like to me, right? So
you read something into the text that's not in the text. That text says if you put away your wife and marry another, that's adultery.
Ideally in the form of a question, though.
Yeah, let's get a question here.
I thought this is my cross-examination.
It is, but so if it's a set,
I'm responding to his answer.
oh well, to be strict because
Oh,
we'll have
sorry.
the dialogue right after this section.
But so he read into the text that this means you can't marry another. Christ is specific that this is about a man if he puts away his wife and marry another, not what he interjected in the text.
Is there a question?
I need you to put it in the form of a question, though.
I just said I was trying to just end that part.
I know, but usually to be like, because we're like super, I assumed you guys wanted super formal because we'll have the dialogue after.
Okay.
So that's why
I can't get mad at you. You're right. I'm wrong.
But no, I'll
I'm
press,
not-
I'll press Mike the same way.
We'll see. No, I'm so after. Yep. So you also
Okay.
made a point in Leviticus, the 18th chapter.
Yep.
It says in 18:1.
18 and 18.
No. The question I want to ask you.
Okay.
In Leviticus 18:3, it says, "After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, you shall not do."
You
Correct?
said verse 3?
Yeah, verse 3.
Verse 3. Let me just read that here.
Mhm.
Where you live, you shall not do as they did in the land of Egypt, where you lived, and you shall not do as they do in the land of Canaan, to which
Mhm.
I am bringing you in. You shall not walk in their statutes.
Right.
what
So
about
we agree that it's talking about not doing after these nations, correct?
Correct. Don't do what the nations are doing. Yeah.
Right. And so uncovering the nakedness of thy father and mother, we would agree that that's talking about sex, correct?
And it's talking about incest. Yeah.
Right. Verse 9 says the nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, is talking about
Mhm.
not having
Yep.
sex with them, right?
Mhm.
The nakedness of thy son's daughters talk about not having sex with them, right?
Yep.
So in verse 18, with this commentary, when it says, neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex. If it was about not getting another wife, period, why doesn't it just say that when it can just clearly say that the same way it's saying, thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of this, the nakedness of that? It's clear when it says, don't take a wife to sister to vex, because, and second two-part question you to answer, this is in reference to Rachel and Leah as well. Those are
So
two
let me just answer you in full here. So as scholars have pointed out, verse 18 should not be going with the prior verses. It's actually with the preceding verses about.
That's what I'm doing. I don't get that. I don't understand what. So now the question is, what gives him the authority to say that? That's my main thing here. For me, that is something that's of interest to me now. They've been saying,
I do not know.
they're saying that.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure it out. Just as you're talking, I'm trying
yeah.
to
Verse
figure out
18
how
doesn't
they
go with
think.
the rest. I'm like, really? That's interesting. So what gives you the? So now, how do you? That's crazy, man. Isn't that kind of like an add or take away from the book?
Yeah, it is. It
That's-
is.
Yeah,
That's very dangerous what he's doing there.
yeah. You know what I mean?
It's dangerous, man. No, man. Like, I have no faith in these denominations and all this, man.
Yeah, man. Anyway, it's good, and it's good that we have to examine these things too, right? So this is not a push for religion. It's a push for how are they decoding this text? How are they deciphering this? And then, they want to say this doesn't go there because they have a problem with a man having a second wife, whoever the case might be, even though the rest of the book doesn't even there's no type of it doesn't see it as evil. Of course, only when when you do wrong in terms of your behavior. What I'm saying, there's things within the even in a monogamous marriage is the same thing. And so that's just, I don't know, man. That's very disappointing. I'll tell you that much. So.
It is very, very disappointing.
Scholars have pointed out verse 18 should not be going with the prior verses. It's actually with the preceding verses about just general sexual outlawing things. And it does explicitly say that. Again, that's what that means. Another. Woman to her sister just means another. It's the feminine form. So it's actually different. It's not actually set up in the same way in the Hebrew with the preceding clauses. It opens differently in the Hebrew. So it's actually different. And
But the verse 18 references nakedness. Verse 19 references nakedness. Isn't nakedness sexual, something of debauchery or whatever? So I don't know.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I don't mean to pause, but I need to decipher these. We need to decipher these things because
Yeah.
that
A
sounds
lot of
ridiculous.
this. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You're right. A lot of this also, and I brought this up when I was having a discussion with a brother who believes in, from my understanding, he believes in once saved, always saved. You know, but he calls it regeneration. But for when he says it, it just sounds like that. You know, whatever easy believism, or like eternal security mindset. You know, so, and I was saying, a lot of these scriptures, man, we have to use the rules of language. Like language has rules.
Yeah.
When you start a paragraph, you can tell when the paragraph ends, when it
Yeah.
begins and when it ends, when a complete thought
Mhm.
is done, right? Anybody that's ever gone to school, don't even like higher level of education, just like you know uh junior high, whatever. If you've done English or just a language, you know what that a complete thought sounds like this. So you're not gonna just pick one thing and then say, oh, what was said before doesn't apply. Same with the whole thing with Christmas, right? It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Oh, it's not talking about the verses right before that. I'm not talking about, it's talking about a scarecrow. Like, well, how did you get that understanding? But yeah, man, it's this we can check the rest of the video.
With the preceding clauses, it opens differently in the Hebrew. So it's actually different. And again, notice the prior verse. It says, you cannot uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, and you shall not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover their nakedness, for they are relatives. It is depravity. Okay, so you cannot marry a woman and her daughter. Okay, very clear, because they're relatives. So you should see the same thing in the verse 18. They're relatives. It doesn't say that. So it's actually a completely different thing. It just means another. It's not an incest law. It goes with the following verses. Excuse
I
me.
would have to say you just don't understand it, so I'll try one more time.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, so hold on. Like, so what did you just read? What did you just read? Woman and her daughter, mother and daughter. What did you just read?
Yeah.
So let's decipher that for a second. Single, so wife, so woman has husband. Husband dies. So she had a daughter with that husband.
Mhm.
She is legally you can marry her lawfully.
Mhm.
If I married a woman, I cannot marry her daughter. But first of all, why is that law even why is that law even there if you can't have a second wife? So that means I can marry another woman. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Like it's backwards. Like the way that he's making the interpretation is backwards.
that's weird. It's weird. And it's just like, okay, first, and we know it can't be talking about them like it has to be talking about a mother and a daughter at the same time.
Yeah.
How do we know this? Because if the daughter is not alive, guess what? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're not in sin. If the mother is not alive, guess what? You're good. So it has to be talking about them at the same time.
Yeah. He's trying to disprove what that text is trying to prove.
Prove. That is insane.
It's witchcraft. If you think about it, what he's doing is some kind of witchcraft, some kind of mind. I don't know, man.
Mental gymnastics, man. Mental abuse, bro. This is mental abuse.
It's crazy.
All right, good luck.
Well, you didn't answer the latter part about was this in reference to Rachel and Leah? You didn't answer that part.
No, it's not alluding to it. No.
So the vexing her is not in reference to Rachel and Leah.
No, there doesn't say that either. There's nothing in the context.
Okay, was Rachel and Leah vexed by them both being married to Jacob?
Yeah, there was a lot of strife between them. Yeah.
So then, as I stated, it is written because of that. And
no, it doesn't say that.
And it's important to understand that, because you made a point to say that God regulated polygamy, but he didn't want polygamy, correct?
It's possible, but it seems as though those verses don't actually even suggest that. The ones the two you brought up.
So in the ones that I brought up in Deuteronomy 21 and 25, if a man have two wives, how many wives does it have according to the Bible?
He would have two throughout his lifetime.
It doesn't say lifetime. You're reading that into
and it doesn't also say at the same time either.
How many does it say? I didn't ask you how many does it says he has at that time. I just asked you how many does it says he has.
It would say in that position he would have two, yeah.
And one beloved and one hated, right?
Correct.
So could they exist at the same time?
There's nothing in the context that suggests that, so we can't say.
could they not exist at the same time?
Could they would not exist at the same time?
Yeah.
Nothing in the context. It's just very vague. It's
Right. So all we have to go with is that a man has 2 wives, right?
Yeah.
So then that is promotion.
Where does it say that you can do this?
It says it right here.
That's crazy, man. I can't believe that. Like I just can't believe that. The reason why I'm saying this is because Jacob, that's not Jacob, sorry, Rachel and Leah existed at the same time. So you would think that, okay, God made laws that would not contradict, like when the law came with Moses, it would not contradict in Genesis or after Exodus. So, it says, again, it's as simple as that. So, and then there's another thing too, right? So this is funny.
Yeah.
They've talked about Deuteronomy 17. I don't know if I should bring this up now, but I'm gonna bring it up now, right now. Anyway, I'm gonna bring it up now, right? So this part's funny to me, man. This is hilarious to me.
I mean, the brother looked like he didn't have a good sleep the night before. It's like, I'm not saying, look, I don't know, maybe he might be fasting. I don't mean to judge the brother, but I'm just saying, it's like, when something's off and you're like, oh man, like I have to convince these people that this position is right, even though it's not. You know what I mean?
Right. So watch this. Right. So this is hilarious to me. So remember, Deuteronomy 17, where it says, like, you don't multiply, right, the wives or the gold or the horses. So the next verse, right? What's the next verse say, right?
Yeah.
And it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, right? The king that whoever Israel chooses to be king, right? That he shall write him a copy of this law in a book out of that which is before the priest, the Levites. So you should write a copy of the whole Torah. So you're telling me this. King Solomon, right, couldn't understand the wisest guy that wrote Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs, right? He didn't understand Leviticus 18:18 meant what IP meant. So he didn't know what that meant, but IP knows what it means. All right, okay. Okay. So
oh boy. Oh boy.
Right? So the other kings did not know that, right? So the other kings didn't know what IP said. And so the Christians, they know more than, what these guys actually. That is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
It's crazy.
Oh, man. All right. Sorry.
Then that is promotion.
Where does it say that you can do this?
It says it right here. By regulating, if a man has 2 wives and gotten, the beautiful part about the Most High, knowing the nature, I won't be long-winded, I promise. The beautiful part about God and knowing man's nature, he's regulating what a man can do, because if you leave it up to the man, he'll deal with the one that he loves the most. And what God removed was you loving one more than the other.
I hate to do it, but just to be really strict on the cross-examination.
So I can't respond to his question, just to be clear.
Usually cross-exams, doing it in the formal way is
just
really
whatever
just,
answer
you're
he
just
gives.
you're just trying to nail him down with questions.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Deuteronomy 25:5. If a brethren dwell together, does that mean that the brethren does not have an existing wife?
No, they would be dwelling together. So no.
You're saying they don't have an existing wife?
The first one would. He dies. Yeah.
No, before they die.
Before he dies, so the older brother or the one brother would have he'd have a wife. He dies. If they're dwelling together, though, no, the brother who then
So when the 70 souls went into Egypt, were they dwelling together?
Wait, the 70 souls?
I thought you knew the Bible.
Not necessarily, no, because they had different tents.
That is dwelling. That's what dwelling
together is. They're in the same community, okay, but they're not dwelling in the same house.
That is dwelling together.
Not in the same house.
In Psalms 144, when it says how beautiful it is for brethren to dwell together, you're familiar with that scripture, yes?
Yeah, it's just
right.
What about it?
They don't live in the same house.
Yeah, exactly. They
right.
don't live in the same house.
But it does say that they dwell together.
All right.
So I know. All right. So the dwelling together has nothing to do with living in the same house, correct?
Yeah, that's my point. You're making the point for me.
No.
They're not in the same house.
You just admitted when it's in the Psalms when it says how beautiful. Well, let me phrase it in a question. in the Psalms does it say that the brethren dwell together? How beautiful that is.
All right, so now let me answer you now. So the psalm is being very poetic in how it's doing. I could say we dwell together. That's not the con. You look at the context. The law of levirate marriage is clearly about two brothers living under the same
I'm not
household.
even talking about levirate marriage right now. I'm trying to get you to understand what dwell together means, because you don't. So in Psalms 133, it says how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, correct?
Yeah, so
it is not talking about living together. It's talking about being in one.
Yeah, there's different ways you
Like-
can talk about dwelling. So what?
So in Deuteronomy 25, it is not saying that they live together. It's saying that they're around each other. And if he has a wife and that wife, he dies without producing seed, whether the brother has a wife or not, he has to go in unto her. That's the duty, correct?
So the question, of course, is what is the word? It's yasab.
I was off the word now. I'm asking a different question.
So what is the question then?
Thank you. The question was whether the man lives in the same hut or is away from him, but in the community. If the brother dies without her having a son, it's his duty to lay with her and take her as a wife, correct?
As long as he's not married, yeah, because you have to.
Where does it say in the verse as long as he's not
if you're
married?
following all the,
As long as he's not married. So who's reading into the text now, right?
Crazy.
That's reading into the text, right?
Yeah, let's look at the verse one step further if we can. If it does in any way indicate that if as long as it's not married, I mean, right here it doesn't say anything, but
yeah. Let me go up.
Is anything like that?
Let me go up. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I'll read it. So Deuteronomy, I'll just read it. So I'll read it from verse 1 to 7.
Okay.
7 or 8, but it's not too much. Let's do this. So for everyone following, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 1. If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked, right? So just coming before the courts to get a judgment, right? And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face according to his fault by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. If brethren dwell together, here comes the verse 5. If brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. And then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it, and say, I like not to take her, and then she throws a sandal, she spits in his face and throws a shoe in his face, something like that. Throw the sandal at him. All right. So,
it's wrong. It's wrong.
He's wrong.
To deny your duties. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's again, right? It's just I don't know, man. I don't even know. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Like, how are people reading this text, man? How are these churches reading this text?
Yeah, and it's just like, you know what? I can't take you guys seriously no more. Like, you know, I haven't taken them seriously in a while, but it's just more proof as to why. You know what I mean? So, no, it doesn't say that. If the brother has a wife and he needs to perform the duty, he got to go perform the duty. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And then look at this beautiful thing. Doesn't Deuteronomy 21 come into effect? You got two wives now. He may hate one and love the other, but guess what? He still got to perform the inheritance.
Yeah.
So isn't it a beautiful thing? So anyways.
Yeah. It doesn't say. It would say at that point when he's called, you know, to give a reason as to why he's refusing his duties. It doesn't say, oh, maybe because I already have a wife and I can't take another one. Like there's no exception there, like it's an exception clause. It's like, no, you're the brother. Like this is your responsibility for the widow.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
Simple as that.
And again, because it is Leviticus 18, I'm gonna give you another verse right now because it came up to mind. I'm gonna give you another verse, bro. This one is crazy. All right. So I'm gonna try to put in the chat because it's such a beautiful one to put in the chat. Excuse me. Oh man, I'm on the chat there. Sorry, I will not be too long. I'm gonna get it. All right. So I'm gonna put this one in the chat because I have to get this one in the chat. All right. So watch this verse here, man. And you let me know what this is saying, man. Watch this. Oh, I forgot one more. I forgot one more. Sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just edit this. All right. I think that's it now. I think you got it. Yeah. So this is after the law, right? So again, for some reason, IP is the only, like, he has some divine revelation. He knows that, oh yeah, or the scholars know that, oh yeah, Leviticus 18, oh yeah, outlawed it. Oh yeah, there's no more polygyny. Yeah, so he knows, but these guys don't know, right? So Joash, right, did which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. So a priest here, and a priest took 2 wives for this one guy. And they don't know the law, so they don't know the law. Pretty much, that's what he's saying.
It's crazy.
The priest doesn't know what the law is now, so they this is funny. I can't even take this seriously, bro.
I don't know these people, man. I don't know.
Torah, yeah, it would follow.
Where in the verse does it say as long as he's not married?
If you're following all of the Torah, it would imply that you can't do it if you're married.
Where in the Bible does it say that? I'm just simply asking.
I just told you, Leviticus
Read
18,
the verse. Give me the verse that says.
Leviticus 18:18. I'm sorry, man. I cannot for life me get over that. That one verse, and then these other guys, they don't know. So Solomon didn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know the law. That is insane.
As long as he don't have a wife, he can do it.
I told you already. Leviticus 18:18. You cannot have 2 wives.
So you're saying that Leviticus 18:18 cancels out the law of a brother?
No, it doesn't cancel it out. This is for
you just said
that. Let me answer now. Let me answer. Calm down.
I'm not.
Okay.
Hey, man,
these are very specific.
I'm trying
things.
to only ask questions now. He said I can't talk.
Now let me answer you now. Okay. Don't worry. So the law assumes exceptions. For example, in Genesis, when this is going out with I believe it's Judah and Tamar, that whole story, the brother is too young, so he has to wait. The Torah assumes exceptions to this. This is not an end-all, be-all clause if this happens.
He's not answering the question, ladies and gentlemen.
What if it's an only child who dies? What are you supposed to do?
He's not answering the question.
I totally did.
He made the statement that said, I can say this part. He made a statement that said, as long as he don't have another wife. I just asked you to show me a verse that says he cannot do it if he has a wife. If there's no verse, just say there's no verse.
It can combination with the entire Torah, which
I didn't ask you about no combination. We ain't trying to go through a rigmarole.
It's very weird that we want. Hold up. My turn now. It's very weird. We want to start cherry picking the Torah when it's convenient for us.
I'm not cherry
later,
picking.
We gotta.
And that's the thing, and that's funny because you said cherry picking, but we say they're cherry picking. They get one verse. Oh, this verse doesn't go with the other verses, even though it's right in the chapter. So, and that's not a cherry pick. That is. Wow, that's
the whole proof texting thing. Gotta prove you this point. But just grabbing a bunch of just grab over here, grab a little over here, and just put it together and just wrap it up. Like nice and well, here it is. That's the proof. No, man, it doesn't work like that.
It's crazy, man.
All of the law, guys. Now he doesn't want to follow all the law. Very convenient.
You just have to. No, you said in the law he can't do it if he has a wife, but you're not showing me in the law. Maybe in verse 6. Let me go to Deuteronomy 25 directly.
All right,
I'm gonna read the verse. This is a question. Y'all, I'm just being funny now. I'm just being
You're
funny
good,
with
man.
James.
You're good.
No, I'm talking to the audience for James. This Deuteronomy 25:5. It says, if brethren dwell together, one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without a stranger, and her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take him to wife and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bears shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up a brother in my name Israel, he would not perform the duty. So is it in the law that a man can refuse?
Is it in the law that he can refuse? No,
Yes.
if he's unmarried, he has to do it. Yeah.
It just
That makes
said, I just read it. If a man like not to take his brother's wife, and let his brother's wife go up to the gate of the elders, say, my husband's brother refused to, and he would not perform the duty of my husband's brother, then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to do it and say, I like not to take her, then shall the brother's wife come into the presence of the elders, and they shall spit in his face.
All right,
That's
can I-
how.
We're
So
at-
now,
We're
Can I
at
answer
time.
now?
I can give you a chance to ask him a question. We're
last
at time
question.
otherwise.
So we can read where if he doesn't do it, he gets spit in the face, shoe thrown at him.
Mhm.
Last chance. Where's the verse that says he cannot do it if he's married?
Okay, once again, let's just answer in full here. It's these are case law examples. These are not universal, all-encompassing, as scholars will note. If you take the whole Torah, that the Leviticus 18:18 would cancel it out if the other brother is married. That's the key here that he cannot get around, because now he doesn't want to take the whole law. Very convenient.
All right, with that, we'll wrap up. Thank you very much,
I
gentlemen.
did this dance when you and I was battling.
Yeah, so that is yeah. So now you got to make a choice, right? You got, as a believer, whoever's listening to this, right, to this debate, you got to make a choice in terms of, like, you know, are you going to accept that? Of course, I'm not accepting that, because that makes no flipping sense. You know what I mean? These are case. This is insane, bro. This is insane. These are case law examples. So when God was creating the law for the nation of Israel, these are only case law. Can you imagine if that was how Canadian or American law worked? Can you? Oh, well, this law, it was just case law. We don't take this seriously. Can you imagine, bro? Like, I could not for the life of like this is. It's no wonder why people think Christianity is a joke. Like, it's a joke, man. That is crazy. And it's like, yeah. Oh my goodness, bro.
It's tough, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. Some type of a spirit, but I get it. It's the it's the I don't know what to call it. The politicizing of the word, you know, man-made religion and all this, just trying to make the word of no effect. Just try to make it of no effect. Like, just make it useless. So that's what that is, you know. So
yeah.
Listen, you can dance all you want. I know you got to earn money, but I'm good.
I don't earn it by dancing. That was a good one. That
was very lively, very enjoyable. We'll jump into the cross exam. Mike, only questions for Captain Tazaryach. Yeah, I'll start the cross exam on your first word.
All right. Do you have more than 2 wives?
Currently?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you have more. Where does the Bible permit you to have more than 1 wife?
Deuteronomy 17:17, Exodus 21:10.
Does Deuteronomy 17:17 says you can have those wives?
It says you can't multiply wives to yourself that it turn away your heart from God. Right. My heart is not turned.
So you mentioned Deuteronomy 21:15. Does it say a man has 2 wives or more than 2 wives?
It says he has 2 wives.
So at best, it would only be allowing 2 according to your interpretation.
No.
I've seen plenty of power banks.
Gotta go back to that one. Sorry, I gotta go back a little bit.
Does it say a man has 2 wives or more than 2 wives?
It says he has 2 wives.
So at best, it would only be allowing 2 according to your interpretation.
No.
How? How did you get that? How did you get that? So if a man has 2 wives, according to your interpretation, you only have 2 at max. So once again, so one of the kings that wrote the that wrote the law, right? One of the kings that wrote the law, copy King Solomon, right? Again, I think must have something in Revelation, man. I don't know what to say, bro. These guys, he took 700 of it, and he did not know that. Like and so when would he have figured out it was wrong? Like which number wife would he have figured out? It's this crazy. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. Okay. Let it go.
Wow.
So at best, it would only be allowing 2 according to your interpretation.
No.
Where does it say more than 2 in the verse?
It doesn't say more than 2 in the verse.
Okay, so at best, it would
Now,
only
watch
allow
me
bigamy.
be better at just answering the question.
Yeah.
It doesn't say more than 2 in the verse.
Right. So at best, it would only be allowing 2 according to your interpretation, not more than 2, correct?
No, because the onus on this one is just giving an example of a man having more than one wife. And so what anybody with common sense would say, if he had 3 wives, if he had 4 wives, no matter how many wives he has, he cannot take away the firstborn right from the first son.
Yeah. Does it say that he has both those wives at the same time?
No, it does not.
All right.
I asked you that same question.
Okay, so are all stated circumstances,
And that's how you see right there, because I have this a lot too, right? So he asked the question, what is it? Sorry, let me go back again. I just want to give like a little thing here.
Yeah, does it say that he has both those wives at the same time?
No, it does not.
All right.
Okay, so does it say he has both those at the same time? No. So and how does that make me right? So one thing that you want to really get good at, anyone that's I don't want to say debating, but I'll say like when you're defending the gospel, right? When you, because eventually we're all kind of charged to defend the gospel.
Yeah.
You want to be able to give answers. Yes. No. Right. And when they say, oh yeah, because I spoke to Captain Tazaryach one time on a call, and he's like, I was just talking about other nations coming in, and he asked me, "Is Paul was of Tarsus?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, you cut yourself." I'm like, "How the heck does that prove your point?" I don't prove nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't got when you're able to answer these questions and take the Bible for what it is, nothing can phase you, right? Because you're standing on truth, or like as Jesus says, when you build your foundation on Him, you're going to withstand the storms, right? Because no storm can shake you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not agreeing with Captain. I don't believe in their doctrine at all. You know what I'm saying? But you see how he answered that? Like that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be strong like that, you know?
Actually,
okay, so are all stated circumstances in the Torah mean that those circumstances are permitted?
All lawful stated examples.
So if there's a verse that says, if this circumstance is going on, you can do it?
Can I finish answering?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. All lawful things are permitted, but they're not always expedient, meaning you don't have to do it.
Okay, so if there's a verse that says, if, I don't know, a man has 2 wives, in your view, that would be saying you can have 2, the Torah would be saying you can have 2 wives, according to you.
Yeah, and in my opening statement, I made it clear. I said, can I read it?
Yeah.
In my opening statement, I made it clear. If by promote you mean it commands to practice it, no, there is no command to practice it. If by promote you mean permits and regulate it as a lawful form of marriage, then yes. So we do not promote that a man has to do it, but we do promote the responsibility and regulations of 1 wife or 5.
Okay, well, just real quick, just to summarize, because it says if a man has 2 wives, according to you, that means you can have 2 wives, correct?
No, it doesn't. I don't read it that way. I don't read that verse and say, okay, I gotta have 2 wives.
That's not what I asked. You can, not gotta. So according to you, Deuteronomy, you can.
You
okay.
can, yeah.
So in Deuteronomy 23:18, it says, "You shall not bring the fee of a prostitute or the wages of a dog into the house of the Lord your God." Deuteronomy 23:18. Can you have the wages of a prostitute?
Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord for thy God, for any vow, for even both. I was out in the verse before that. It says, "There shall be no whores of the daughter of Israel, nor sodomite of the sons of Israel." So I would interpret that as you can't have neither. That's the point.
So, but could you have money from a prostitute from another nation?
No.
Okay, so merely having prostitutes' money does not mean prostitution is permitted then, correct?
I don't understand the question.
Merely having the money of a prostitute does not mean God is allowing you to sleep with prostitutes, correct?
So they got a prostitute money or whatever the case might be. So let me say that thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore. Anyways, but I don't think. See, I don't understand what he's trying to do here with this. Thou shalt not, right? You do not do this. Okay. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. We can go Exodus, Deuteronomy. It doesn't matter where we go, but I'll go to the closest one. Watch this. If you have this, this is you are what's supposed to do. So if you have this is the instructions on what you do as a man. Okay. I'll just go up one more. Here it is. If you do this, if you take another wife, this is what you're not supposed to do, or this is what you do.
Yep.
One says, thou shalt not do this. One says, if you do this, this is what you do.
Two different.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, two different positions, two different
instructions.
statements.
Yeah, exactly. Statements. It's crazy.
So I don't know. He's trying to use. I don't even know what he's trying to do, man. I'm confused. What is he trying to do?
Exactly, bro.
Question.
Merely having the money of a prostitute does not mean God is allowing you to sleep with prostitutes, correct?
I would say if you have the money of a prostitute, you are breaking God's commandment.
Exactly. Okay,
Right.
so just stating something in the Torah is not permitting what's in the, we're not permitting.
This is not permitting
Exactly.
the money from a whore.
Hey, oh, thank you. Perfect.
Right.
Okay, is stealing wrong?
It's telling you that you cannot.
Is stealing wrong?
It's still, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so Exodus 22:1 says, if a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it and sells it, he shall repay. So similar structure to what we see in the Deuteronomy passage you brought up. Can you actually steal an ox or a sheep?
Someone can break the commandments and steal it. That what you're bringing up is examples of breaking commandments, but
Yeah.
you're not. But you have yet to bring up anything about breaking the commandment of a man having more than one woman. So I'm going to agree. Could a man steal? Yes, but if they do,
I hope. Sorry, I hope he just didn't like connect that with like the way how I think he just connected that. Like I don't think this is what he's saying, because I'm gonna give people the benefit of the doubt, you know. But you know what it says? If a man shall, did he really just say that they're allowed to do that? You know what I'm saying? I hope that's not what he did, if that makes sense.
Okay, let's read this. Let me just read over it real quickly. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. But there's no conditions for polygyny, though. It doesn't say if a man.
No, what he's saying is that because it's stated, if a man steal, but a man stealing is against the commandments, right?
Yeah. So there's a punishment for it.
Right, but I guess maybe you're kind of not seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm hoping that that's not what he's doing. I'm gonna listen to it again, right? I'm gonna listen to it again.
Doing. What you think he's doing is what he's doing.
I hope not. I hope not.
But you're not. But you have yet to bring up anything about breaking the commandment of a man having more than one woman. So I'm going to
see if a man having more than one woman, right? If a man, that's what I'm trying to get to.
To agree, could a man steal? Yes, but if they do steal, they're going to get punished for it.
Oh, sorry, I got to go back a little more.
Please steal an ox or a sheep. Similar structure to what we see in the Deuteronomy passage you brought up. Can you actually?
Similar passage to the Deuteronomy structure. Oh my gosh, I think he is saying it.
Steal an ox or a sheep.
Someone can break the commandments and steal it. That what you're bringing up is examples of breaking.
That is crazy. I can't. So okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is.
Thou shalt not take 2 wives. No, thou shalt not take more than 1 wife. Where does it say that?
So watch this. If a man have 2 wives, right? If a man steals, so you're saying that God is allowing a man to steal? That is, bro. That is, oh my flip, man.
That's crazy.
I didn't even take bro. I never took it in before. Like, again, I'm just discerning that. I hope for the love of God, I'm wrong on that. I really do hope I'm wrong on that. So, you got anything else?
Yeah, well, basically what he's saying, IP is saying that because the statement that he's made is God does not allow or promote polygyny.
Yeah.
So he's kind of trying to make it line it up with stealing. God does not allow or promote stealing, and you will get punished for it. So
Exactly.
therefore, since God does not allow stealing, therefore He doesn't allow polygyny. But then the thing is, just because it says, oh, okay, if a man shall take two wives, da da da, but where does it say, and thou shalt not take more than one wife, like
Or
explicitly?
Or if you do take if the man does have more than one wife, there's nothing afterward that says that to restore or whatever. There's nothing to like.
There's
There's no type of
condition.
punishment with it.
Yeah. So as simple as that.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, and if you perform your duty well, if you don't perform your duty well, then there's consequences. So,
commandments, but you have yet to bring up anything about breaking the commandment of a man having more than one woman. So I'm going to agree. Could a man steal? Yes. But if they do steal, they're going to get punished for it. But if a man has two wives, he ain't getting punished for it. If he get three wives, he ain't getting punished for it. You're bringing me to laws. You're bringing me to laws about breaking commandments, whereas the laws I brought about having a wife is keeping the
So you would agree, just stating that something is happening is not permitting.
If stating the examples that you have given so far are sinful things, that sins are not sins are not permitted, but you have not given examples of a man.
Yeah, he thinks he's winning or something. I think like that's so shocking to me, man. Like they think that they actually believe this. So like they believe what they're saying. So you can't get too riled up when dealing with people with this type of belief, and always got to be in the spirit of meekness and gentleness and kindness. It's going to help a long way. I've noticed this, and following God's way is the best way. So yeah.
And having two wives as a sin.
So then again, let's go back to Leviticus 18:18, since that's where we're going. How do you understand this verse?
I understand Leviticus 18:18 as Moses knowing of the story of Leah and Rachel and saying you can't marry two cousins or you can't marry two sisters.
Can you show me a place anywhere in the whole Hebrew Bible where the phrase "a woman to her sister" means a biological sister?
Yeah, right here. Neither, because when it's talking about the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, the whole chapter of Leviticus, the 18th chapter, is about family that you cannot be with. And so when it gets to the husband, neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister. It's the wife's sister. It's plain on tables.
So in the prior verse, it says you cannot marry a woman and her daughter, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so are they siblings? Are they related?
Yes, their daughter.
Okay. Can you? Does verse 17 say you can marry that relative after maybe the mother dies?
No.
Okay, but in the following verse, you can marry the other woman after the
you
first
can
one
marry.
dies.
Yeah, it says to uncover her nakedness besides the other in her lifetime. So if you marry a sister and that sister passes away, then you could marry the other sister.
So why can't you do it with the daughter in the prior verse?
Because you can't marry a mother and daughter because that's incest.
What if the mother dies?
That's incest.
It doesn't say you can do that when they die.
Okay, so in the prior verse, it's a different understanding of what's going on.
Wait. If the mother dies, you can take the daughter. What are you talking? Right?
Oh yeah, of course. That's
you can take
the thing. Yeah,
go on. So go.
This is the thing. Like, I think it's hard for certain minds to wrap their minds around. Oh, a man can actually marry somebody's late wife's daughter. Like, it's actually biologically allowed that you can actually do that. So that like you have to. I don't know. It's hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around that. So if they can't wrap their minds around that, like everything else is like, no, that's impossible. We can't marry more than one wife. You see?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, man. This is crazy work. This is some crazy mental workouts, bro. Oh shoot.
It doesn't say you can do that when they
Well,
die.
okay, so in the prior verse, it's a different understanding of what's going on there then, because
It's not
you
a
can
diff-
do it if one dies, correct?
It's not a different understanding of who you can marry, and it doesn't change the context that Leviticus 18 and 18 is talking about that wife's sister.
Is the verse 19 talk about incest at all?
Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she a part of her uncleanness. That's talking about when a woman is on her flower.
So you would agree 19 and following is not about incest, correct?
19 is about any woman.
Okay, so verse 18 is not in the middle of incest verses, correct? It's at the end.
Yes.
Okay,
is at
so
the end,
it could
right.
go with the following verses just about general rules, possibly, right?
I don't know if I would put general rule.
Or it can go with both, like the before and after. So it has to be in the middle of incest rules to apply to incest, or let's just say sexual morality. I don't. Is that a law or something? Because there's something called the law of first mention. I don't subscribe to that, but there is truth to it. Fair enough. There is truth to the law of first, because when you create something, anything you create, there's like there's a purpose to that creation but something that may develop into something else, right? Like, people invent things, right? So right, so you know what I mean. But because that is crazy, man. Like but we don't take these laws as like they're stone cold. This is the truth, right? And yes. Yes, and contextual laws, you do that, right? Something, if it's in the middle of this or where it's placed, it does make sense. But just because it's at the end of it doesn't mean it doesn't. It's like just separated from the ones before that. It's right. It's like right after. It's in the same chapter, right below the last quote unquote incest. So it's not far-fetched, you know what I mean? It's just crazy, man.
No, he's in denial. This is what you call denial right there. So
this is definitely denial.
Because it's specific. 19 is general because it could be your grandmother. It could be grandmother don't get cycles, so I won't use them.
Gross.
It could be your auntie. It could be your mother. It could be your own sister. You can't be a part of any woman. That's in general. 18 is
in general.
Right.
So 19, general rules.
19 is a general rule of women.
So 18 could be a general rule also as well.
18 is specific because it says thou shalt not take a wife to her sister.
Why does
if it was in general, it would say neither thou shalt take another wife.
Why does it not say a woman and her sister?
It says,
I don't even know look, why is that a point? Woman and daughter nullify that point alone, and that is crazy.
Say it again.
Why does it not say woman and her sister?
Because they smart. I mean, they're intelligent enough to know. If they wanted it to say thou shalt not take another wife, it would just say thou shalt not take another wife. But that's not the context. It's clear. Don't take that wife's sister.
So in Exodus 26:3, it says 5 curtains shall be coupled, woman to her sister. That's what it 26:3. So I'm going to read it as literally as I can because it's
Exodus 26:3. I got you.
Okay.
Exodus 26:3. I'll play the video.
5 curtains shall be coupled, woman to her sister, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled, woman to her sister. Is that talking about biological sisters?
26:3. I don't see the word sister.
I'm using the Hebrew. I'm reading it as literally as possible.
So it says the 5 curtains shall be. So verse 1 says, moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle. This is talk about the tabernacle. This is talk about women.
So again, 5 curtains shall be joined woman to her sister, and 5 joined woman to her sister.
Why are you saying? I don't understand why you're saying woman.
As a manufacturing CEO, NetSuite allows me to track what's important and to optimize on a web.
Oh, what? No skip?
It should come up.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so it's one of them special. Yeah, it's one of them special ads.
It's literally the Hebrew. woman to her sister.
Why are
That's
you saying? I don't understand why you're saying woman.
That's literally the Hebrew. The
Okay.
Hebrew.
So just so I can't ask a question, right? But I don't see the connection between this and women in Leviticus.
Okay, but you would agree it's not talking about biological sisters here, just parts of the tabernacle, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Excellent. So that phrase seems to refer to just another, not
what
biological
phrase?
siblings. Woman to her sister.
What? No, in 23 and 26.
26:3. Yep. That's the same
When
phrase
it
in
says-
Leviticus 18:18.
Which part of 3 is the phrase? that-
Okay, so the first word is 5, then curtain.
So, do you understand what he's saying there?
No, I'm following. But I didn't get the punchline.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna get the other verse here, bring it all the way down. So this guy, right? This is the verse that he's saying. This is one verse, Leviticus 18:18, right? You know what's hilarious about this too?
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious? Leviticus is the book in the middle of the Torah. It's in the middle of the Torah. Deuteronomy is at the end, right? But somehow this one verse in the middle of the Torah annihilates everything before and after polygyny. That is something. Oh man! So what he said here, when it says wife to her sister, doesn't mean biological sister, right? So he uses this verse here to compare it, but the verse says
the five
curtains shall be coupled together one to another. That right there is what he's talking about.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see a sister to sister in this Exodus 20.
Right, because you're using a different translation. He's gonna show it after. So let's go verse 1. Let's just go verse 1, right? So verse 1. Let me make sure I got the whole thing, because sometimes the banner doesn't show everything. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, it looks like I got them all. Perfect. So watch this. Verse 1. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle, right, with 10 curtains of the fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet. Cherubims of cunning work shalt thou make. The length of one curtain shall be 8 and 20 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and every one of the curtains shall have one measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. It doesn't mean sister. Therefore, polygyny outlawed.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Wow.
So Exodus chapter 26, talking about curtains outlaws polygyny. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. At this point, man, just concede defeat. At this point, yeah, man, just some curtains and
oh my gosh.
No.
Them 4 curtains being abused. I'm just playing. Okay, I'm not doing that.
Which part of 3 is the phrase?
Okay, so the first word is 5, then curtains shall be joined. Okay, woman to her sister.
Okay, because I'm reading the KJV, I don't see joined.
We gotta look at the Hebrew, man.
I see coupled. So you're saying in that one it says the coupled part, kabar. Is that the word? Well, that's what it said. H22.
No, it says Israel Hota, I believe is how you pronounce it.
So when I'm on my Eastward app, the together word is H2266, which says kabar.
No, I'm looking at if you want to do Strong's Concordance, it would be 802-413 and then 269.
Is that Bible Hub you're using?
Yeah, you can go there if you want.
Gotcha. Let's look at that. If y'all don't mind.
Okay. I got it right here if you need it.
I'm not
Let me text it to you.
Well, he had to go into the Hebrew.
You say Exodus 26 and 3, right?
26 and 3. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm looking for what he's saying. But what'd you say?
No, I'm just saying he had to go this far just to prove a point that's not holding water. Yeah, but just go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Can you find? Oh man, I don't want to go through it, man. I'm going through. I don't even see the translation he's using. So KJV, one to another. New KJV, one to another. NLT, join the other 5 into a second. Not even close. ESV, coupled one to another. NIV. Curtains together and do the same with the other 5. 5, so CSB, 5 of the curtains should be joined together. The 5 curtains shall be joined to one another. And it's, I don't know, but this is crazy. I went through all these trans, and they don't even say wife to sister. Yeah, like you said, like, and I don't have time to go into all of that. I can't even, I'm not going to go look for that right now. So, but yeah.
3.
So
I got it right here. And let me put it in the Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me put it in Hebrew. Now, this went to...
Pause my time, James.
We're going to have another...
I got so many more questions. Pause my
Right. I saw it.
like the word for
It
woman.
says 5 curtains shall be joined to each other.
That was the ending of
Okay,
it. So
gotcha.
Isa El Hota is not Isa like the word for
It
woman.
says 5 curtains shall be joined to each other and her sister to her sister. And
Yeah, there it is.
I got you. So you're saying because it says sister there.
No, it says the whole phrase woman to her sister. Isa is in
Right. 5. Well, no, in mine's it still says, so it says sister there.
Yeah.
On Bible Hub, it says 5 curtains shall be joined each other to her sister and 5 curtains. So it still uses curtains there.
Right.
But then it says to her sister.
Exactly.
But I still don't know what that has to do with Leviticus 18.
You would agree, looking at that phrase, though, it clearly refers to those that are not biological sisters, correct?
I don't think this is talking about women at all.
Exactly.
It's clear. Right. But Leviticus.
I'm sorry. The way how he's getting excited is killing me, bro. Yes, that's right. See? Point Yo, oh god, man.
Oh man, I don't know. Like he unearthed something, some revelation that was just so powerful. Like, oh yeah.
Hey man, we didn't get it, bro. We didn't
something out here. Oh man, it's like
we definitely didn't get it, bro.
I feel sorry for Captain Tazaryach because he had to go all the way to the Hebrew, man. It's just like what the heck?
Oh gosh,
that's crazy, bro.
Oh
You
man.
would agree, looking at that phrase, though, it clearly refers to those that are not biological sisters, correct?
I don't think this is talking about women at all.
Exactly.
It's clear, right? But Leviticus 18 is talking about women specifically. When you know Hebrew is multifaceted with the words. The words can be used anything. Gentiles can be people, or it can be a herd.
So there's no evidence that phrase refers to biological sisters, correct?
What phrase?
The phrase you just read in Exodus 26:3.
My argument is not whether the phrase in Exodus.
Well, yes. Exodus 26:3, like is now talking about biological sisters because it's talking about curtains.
Yeah.
So yes. It goes like I can't leave it just doing
this brother has to be, this man has to be on something, and like what? Like why would you find yourself over there with the curtains? Like what's the connection? Like
and Leviticus 18 is talking about
oh boy.
Oh shoot, man. All right, let's keep going.
26 is talking about sisters. My argument is that the context in Exodus 26 is the tabernacle and the curtains being metaphorically explained as sisters. That's why the King James translation doesn't use that.
All right, we got to move on. I got time. I guess.
Wait, let me just in here. The King James version just says the 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another. So it's just a translator that's choosing to use that word sister or not. So we'll be arguing translation.
We got the point across. Let's move on. Oh, you said that not everyone should be polygamous. Who should?
I don't think everybody should have a wife.
Okay. That
meaning like you should understand the responsibility.
Doesn't answer my question. You agree not everyone should be polygamous, right?
I do agree that everyone should not be polygamous.
Who do you, in your view, should have the ability to be polygamous?
Men that understand the responsibility.
Well, anyone has the ability to do it. If they want to do it, if they have the capacity to do it, they'll do it. Like every man has the the right to do it. What happens is that most of the time, like for example, the reason why kings are given that law when it comes to like don't multiple wives and don't multiply wives and all that is because they have a lot of money. They have a lot of money. They're taking care of the kingdom, so they have a lot of money. So they are able to put down more bride prices, more dowries to get more wives. Right? If you have the money to do it, you can do it. So there's no law saying that you have to have money to do it, but it's just that usually it's going to be tied to that. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is really not difficult at all to understand. So
Yeah. I mean, I would add to say, and of course, this is up for discussion as for us at least, the New Testament wise, right? The scripture talks about, a bishop should be a man of one wife. So I would add that, and Captain Tazaryach is a bishop. So I like for him. I mean, this is not in this video, of course. It's not the main discussion, but I would bring that up with him.
No, it's coming up.
But it's coming up. Okay, all right. Okay, sounds good. Okay.
Responsibility of getting a wife, which is why the word promote and permits and regulates it talks about that. That's why the first thing you heard me say was I use Deuteronomy 17:17. Do not multiply wives to yourselves that it turn your heart away from the Most High.
Can the best among us be polygamous? The most righteous, the best among us?
I don't know if a best amongst us makes us a great wife. I mean, makes us a great husband. You could be good at being a cop and not be a good husband. You could be good at this and not be a great husband. You're going to be gone a lot. So I don't know if I would say the best of us is what I would do. I would say a man should examine himself to see if he can be great to one wife before he thinks about getting another wife.
So we should be righteous before we should be polygamous?
You should be responsible. I think you should be God-fearing and responsible.
Does the Bible call us to be more Christ-like?
Yeah, we should follow Christ.
Should the best among us be more Christ-like?
Yes.
Okay. According to 1 Timothy 3:2 and 12, it talks about bishops and deacons being the husband of one wife. What do you need, a muffin or something? You hungry?
No, man.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
That's what I do.
Please don't make.
I've been waiting for you to get here. I've been waiting for this part.
So
I've been waiting for
just don't make those sounds looking at me. I'm not going to be one of your wives. Okay.
I am not. Christianity may endorse homosexuality.
All right.
Israelites don't endorse homosexuality. So I would not want.
Would you say overseers in the church should be the most Christ-like because they're representing Christ before the congregation?
I think all men should be Christ-like, whether you're an overseer or bishop or not.
So, but bishops should be Christ-like then, right?
I think I just answered the question. I said all of us should be. It doesn't matter. Your rank doesn't matter in obedience to Christ. We all should be obedient.
How many wives are bishops allowed?
It sounds like you got to have one wife. Can a bishop be single?
Yeah.
It says the bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife. It sounds like he got to be blameless, got to have one wife.
So you would agree, though, that for
very, very good answer. Very, very good answer. Because,
perfect. Yeah.
Because this verse is so much more complex than people think. And, they go here, oh, you see, you got to have one wife. Yeah, look who's talking. You know who's even speaking? This is Apostle Paul speaking. He got 0 wives and he's an apostle.
What did he say? Can a bishop? He said, can a bishop be single? You gotta have one wife. So I didn't really get his position.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Captain said. It seems like he has to have one wife.
Oh, okay. So Captain Tazaryach believes a bishop must have at least one wife.
Yeah, if he wants to be, wife. One and only one. If he wants to be, well, no. Sorry, I don't know what he's saying, but. But like he's saying that if he has 0 wives, he can't be a bishop. Like that's what it seems like he's implying. And if he has one wife, yeah, that's what qualifies him to have to be a bishop. So that's what it seems like you're saying. So I don't know.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, but the one thing is that I want to say is that Apostle Paul has 0 wives and he's an apostle.
Yeah.
So make that make sense to me. Sorry, let me get back to that.
Single?
Yeah.
It says the bishop must be blameless, the husband of one wife. It sounds like he got to be blameless, got to have one wife.
So you would agree, though, that for bishops and overseers, they're not allowed to be polygamous.
I don't know if I agree with Christians' understanding of this verse, but I'll use your lens. So if a bishop only has one wife, that's fine. But it still does not mean if a man has 2 wives, he's in sin. I've yet to see it yet. This whole conversation, ain't no verse said having more than one wife is a sin.
We already went over that.
No, we did not. We went over the lie you said.
So the best. So those that are those that are Christ-like are called to only have one wife if they have a wife. at
The
all.
verse doesn't say those that are Christ-like. It says if a
a
man,
bishop.
it says this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. So it's not talking about whether you're Christ-like, because then that would be disrespecting all the people that are not bishops but are Christ-like.
Time. That was excellent as well, gentlemen. Then we have yes. Let's give him a round of applause. Very fun.
I thought this was gonna be boring for a little bit.
No, it ain't.
Okay. All right. So, yes, sir. They're going into 30-minute dialogue. To be honest, I don't think we need to even go any further, to be honest with you. I think we got enough from this, right?
Yeah,
you want to go into the dialogue, or you were good here?
Well, we're good here. We can go a little bit further if you like, but we're good. I think we kind of got the gist. I mean, of what they were, believing and understanding. Yeah. You want to say something? Go ahead.
I am, but I can. I'm gonna pull up the Bible Hub right now. Yeah, I'm pull up Bible Hub right now, man. I did another debate before. I don't know if I will share it again on screen. I mean, I don't know if I'll go over it again. It was a good one though. I did like it. But the one thing I like about the multiple wives debate, it really exposes people on how they read the text. So I don't know if you remember what IP said about like every time polygyny comes up, or polygamy comes up, it's in a negative light. You remember him saying that at the beginning?
Yep.
So like people have used that, and I just don't know, man. Like, and the only reason why I was able to get this is because I read the Bible cover to cover, and so I want to take the text as honest as possible. But when they say something like that, it makes no sense to me. 1 Kings 16 verse 28. Watch this, man. So Omri, you can see it? Yeah. So Omri, right? You want to make it bigger, or is it you good?
You can make it bigger. You can
A little
hardly
bigger?
see it actually.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, that's good.
Good? Okay. Perfect. So 1 Kings chapter 16 verse 28. So Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his stead. And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Ahab the son of Omri to reign over Israel. And Ahab the son of Omri reigned over Israel in Samaria 22 years. And Ahab the son of Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord above all. He did evil in the sight of the Lord above all that were before him. They're already labeling it. This is a label over here, okay? And it came to pass as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam. So he's already doing all this evil stuff, but he's like, man, I can take it a whole nother level. So the Bible's labeling this man already as like, yo, this guy is just above just like evil. He is evil, man. He might as well be called the devil. He might as well be Satan's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like they're pretty much like walking step in step. So, and it came to pass as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him. So here is a monogamous marriage that is the worst of the worst, worse than any other polygynist. Oh, so I guess we shouldn't have no monogamy then, right? See, monogamy is an evil thing, right? So now monogamy is evil. Okay, so we don't, I guess we don't get married now, right?
Yeah, it's a stretch.
You know what I mean? And there's other parts too, but this is the one I've came up with. This is one of the ones I would use against them. Is like, if you think it's so evil for polygyny and but look at this, it's monogamy, right? And well, they'll say, well, it's about the people. Exactly, it has nothing to do with the union itself, or let's just say the amount that you have. Like, if you're evil, you're evil.
Yeah, if you're that's true. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. When it comes to Solomon's case, the reason was he was marrying pagan wives, from my understanding. Some of the wives that he was marrying were pagan women.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the issue. They initially, if the covenant, the marriage arrangement is already, you know, flawed, there's an issue there. It's not going to work too well, because you have a woman who's worshiping, you know, other gods, and you're worshiping a different god. They might seduce you to worship their gods. So this was
Exactly.
the problem there. So the issue was, you know, at that particular point, Solomon's heart, when it came to entertaining strange women, right? So that was the issue. It wasn't so much about him entertaining, you know, marrying more than one woman. You know.
There you go.
So,
That's it. That's it. You got it, man. That's
so yeah.
that's the key right there, bro. I mean, there's, you know, and then we come to this, come to the truth. And we pray that. I mean, I just pray that the truth be out there, and we give all power. I mean, give all praises to the Most High, and just thanking Him for giving us a day to seek this truth, examine the truth, and prove all things, hold fast to which is good, test all things, right, and just stick and just stick with the Word, and then build your foundation on the words of Christ and nobody else.
Hallelujah.
And so with that, I yield, bro. I got nothing else to say unless you got something to say to the people. Good to go.
Oh no, I think that was a great lesson. That debate, for me, was it really shows how somebody can be deceived into believing something that's not in the script, in the
Yeah.
in the biblical scriptures, and it also exposes situations when somebody holds to high esteem the systems of the world, because I think he was basically just saying what he was told.
Yeah.
He's not really reading the scriptures for himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, all praises to the
All
Most High,
praises.
and
Hallelujah,
Shabbat
man.
Shalom.
We'll be
Hallelujah.
back. See you in the next one.